After their trauma in the old city, the party rested throughout the daylight hours of Ritlingsdag Fithtar Prima, or late spring to those of you of the Adran tongue. They rose at sunset and feasted together on Jintel's hearty fish stew, brimming with a selection of fish caught fresh that day. After they had finished, Fedoran insisted that they all indulge in a Valian post-mealtime pleasure, a drink of Sauco, a deep blue-grain alcohol imported from the Republics, flavoured with anise and elderberry, washed down with a cup of murk brew tea. A rather pleasurable meal indeed, but Nadog wasn't going to stop there and insisted the group finish the meal off with some dessert. Sugared Palaho nuts, which they duly did partake in. A meal almost fit for a king, certainly fit for a now full Valian wizard. Next up, a round of cards. Scopa, which Fedoran had to explain to the others, a game that is highly entertaining, particularly to those that watch, as games usually involve lively, colourful and somewhat strong-worded banter in between hands. Nadog seemingly a particular expert at this element of the game. With the crowd gathered, now watching the exuberant card game in full swing, Fedoran decided to showcase his prosperity for the onlookers. He ordered several rounds of Vre Kiora, a variation on a common herbal liqueur from the Valian Republics that has been infused with luminous Adra, giving a faintly growing green concoction. Such a drink, when uncorked after dinner, is an unsubtle way to display one's success to the guests. Round after round of both cards and drink was served to the table, and before long Takeu was on the stage with the dancers, showcasing his water dancer ability, Jyoti shouting words of encouragement from the floor to keep him going. Adair was dancing with a serving girl, whirling her round and round until she may as well have been as drunk as he was, and the dog, well, with his newfound skill at Scopa, was encouraging some of the onlookers to give him a game, so he could duly fleece them out of coin, of course. And where was Fedoran during all of this? Well, he had slipped away unnoticed upstairs. Oh, la 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 la. Excuse me.
You are a glutton for punishment, I see.
I come here on recommendation. My good friend, a dwarf about so high, surly face and often moody. You may have come across him. Well, he recommended your services, I think in jest partly, but, well, it's got me a little intrigued, I must say.
I will give you an experience you won't soon forget.
Oh, tell me a little about yourself.
I must assume the question beneath your question is how a fire godlike came to find herself in a place such as this. Perseverance. Being as I am, I have been forced to find it for myself. Now I teach it to others. To live in a world as a thinking, feeling creature, it is difficult. It demands strength. But we cannot always be strong. I help those who have lost their strength to find it again.
Ah, well, I see. Well, how much is it for your time?
300 copper.
Oh!
I know it's a bit more than most, but my service is like nothing you will find anywhere else in Nekataka.
Oh, well, I have 300 coins right here. Let's get to it then.
Very well. Remove your clothing and shut the door.
Oh, yes.
You may leave.
And upon leaving, Fedoran's party seemed to have been listening in. What the hell are you doing here? I got lost looking for the bathroom. Now, come on, let's go downstairs. Things to do.
Yeah.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity 2. Hope you enjoyed that little insight into the party's escapades last night, having returned from their arduous times in the old city. I do not need to say anything else, do I? Right, before we press on with today's session in earnest, we have leveled up Adra.
What do you need?
Okay. And we have given him an additional ability or two, because they went up a power level. So he's got Fearless, which gives him extra resistance to resolve afflictions, and we've also given him something else. Tumbling, which gives him extra defense when disengaging. It could be useful for him, because if he's a tank and he needs to kind of get the heat off some of the squishies, him disengaging with the enemies to kind of go towards another, this will help with that. Stop him from getting hit. So that's the couple of abilities for him. Jyoti, she too has leveled up. We have given her Devotions for the Faithful, buffing our might and accuracy for a decent amount of time, and also debuffing the enemy for the same. So both a buff and a debuff in the same move. Very handy indeed. And also Shining Beacon, which decreases the defense damage of the enemy, and also inflicts burn damage as well. So that's her. And Fedoran, he has got 2 new spells. We have gone Arcane Cleanse, which 9th level wizard spell. What the hell is that? Oh, that's his grimoire. Apologies. We have gone for. What have I gone for? What the hell have I gone for? Let me do it this way, it'd be easier. Oh, I haven't gone for spells. I went for 2 abilities. I went for this one, Spell Shaping, which basically allows him to alter the area of effect of some of his spells, decrease the area of effect, increase the power level, or increase the area of effect to decrease the power level. So depending on the circumstance, he might be able to make his shapes more fit for purpose. And of course, it had to be done. Scion of Flame. Exactly. He is a Scion of Flame. So that was the leveling up for the characters, and now we press on with what we are going to do today, and that is, first of all, we're going to just head to the road east to see where it takes us. Because our intention is to head to one of 2 places, depending on where we can go first. If we head due east, are we able to get to the Brass Citadel from here? We might be able to, because if we can, that'll be great. We have 2 quests, at least in that particular area. And we'd rather do those before we end up going back to the Serpents District to try and get that that thingamajig, the technical term, of course, the waves thingamabob. It'll come to me eventually. What's it called? Where is this? Trade Secrets. Reach the Undercroft. Cornet, there you go. Cornet of Waves. Think Cornetto. Think ice cream.
Hey.
And you shall remember. We can't get to the Brass Citadel. It seems the only way to get there is from the Sacred Stair. So we'll have to go to the Sacred Stair first. So today's session, then, will not be in the Brass Citadel. It will be in the Sacred Stair. Let's see what waits us in that district. Just one cornetto, give it to me. The Sacred Stair. Right, let's have a... Ooh! A nice little amphitheatre going on here. This looks pretty cool. Quite an ancient area with kind of ruins and maybe a lot of temples here. So we have the Spire of the Soul Seers. It's a rather large building. Got a couple of merchants. Top side there, road north. We've got a merchant over that side. This looks like a pretty cool area. We have the temple. Oh, Berath's temple. Berath. Well, we might pop in there, say hello. The Hanging Sepulchres. We then have got the temple. Oh, Magran's temple. Now there's an interesting temple to visit. And the Temple of Gorn. So we are in Temple City, it seems. The Temple District. So Gorn will be of interest to Jyoti, of course. Berath is of interest to us. Magran, out of interest in general, perhaps, just to pay our respects to poor old what's-his-face. I'm not doing very well today, as you can quite clearly see. Memory like a fish. Priest from the first game. He'll come to me. The Sacred Stair. Spire of the Soul Seer's Rooftop. Okay, so we've got... this looks like Adra. We've got Animancers here. That's going back outside.
Yeah?
Durance. I got there eventually. Right, let's just go try this for a second. God, he'd be spinning in his grave if he realised that we forgot about him so quickly. The jovial fella that he was. Of course. Okay, here we are on the roof. This is more than likely the place where it all happens. So we've got more Adra. And there's a named character. Let's have a quick look around, a quick mooch about. Some more Animancers. We've got a sparking device. A chest that's not classed as looting, so I'll take it. Sorry, not classed as stealing. I recognise that name. Why do I recognise that name?
What do you need?
Come here.
Merla. Burned. Well,
I'm sure he was in the first... Was he in the first game? I'm sure I recognise that name.
Watcher, what a surprise to see you again.
Exactly, we've seen him. Where is he? Beneath a familiar pointed nose, Cadman Azur's grin achieves a careful balance between polite and sneering. His once round face has grown gaunter since you last saw him. Is this the chap that was in the, again, names, today's session, not working very well. That place, the Animancer place in the first game. The Sanctum, the Sanctuary. What was it called? I can't remember. But yes, he was the one that was conducting that experiment with the prisoners, with the patients in there. The Sanctum, the Sanctuary, Sanitarium. Sanitarium? Was that it? Sanitarium. Could be.
If the rioters in Defiance Bay knew he was here, they'd be on the next boat to Deadfire, with a cargo, a rope, and torches.
I see we've all moved up in the world, haven't we? Taking an interest in the sciences?
No, it's not the Sanitarium. That's wrong. Brackenbury, the Brackenbury Sanitarium. It might be. Yes, and he was one conducting those experiments. Yeah. And what exactly are you doing here?
Well, that's what happens, isn't it? When an ignorant mob burns down your place of employment, you move on.
Captain, I say you run with a more dangerous crowd than I guessed.
Director Castle was desperate for learned academics, and Neketaka, being so distant from Brackenbury, did much to recommend it. We do fine work here, not as personally fulfilling as my time in the sanitarium.
Oh, it was.
But exciting in its way. The Huana have a much more forward-thinking stance on the sciences, so it's easier to find volunteers. Of course, we can always use more. Any chance you have an interest? I assure you, you have nothing to fear from me.
Yes. Well, I better go and speak with the lady over there. No offence.
Certainly. She has a great gift for discussing animancy with a layman.
Layman. Cheek. Ah, so that's Cadman Azo. Ooh.
Sure.
Very nice.
Yeah.
A steady white-haired elf frowns down at a table covered in coiled copper wires and glimmering shards of Adra. Her gloved hands smooth her well-tailored Valian coat as she mumbles under her breath. Apparently absorbed in her work, the Animancer doesn't acknowledge your presence. Excuse me. The woman spins on you, blinking rapidly behind a pair of brass-rimmed spectacles. Her bright carmine eyes and paper-white skin mark her as one of the Glamfelon.
Hello. My apologies. I didn't see you there.
Her Fedoran bears a clear, crisp but difficult-to-place accent. The pale elf examines you warily, unease clear in the set of her shoulders. I didn't mean to interrupt. Well, we did interrupt, didn't we? What do you do here?
I, like the other scholars here, am engaged in the study of the soul sciences. Was there something you needed, or may I return to my studies?
You're bleeding.
Indeed. I apologize if you find the sight of blood unsettling. Though, from your appearance, I would expect you to be well acquainted with it. In any case, why are you here?
No particular reason, really. Just exploring what Nekataka has to offer. And how did you come to be here?
It is a mundane story. I sought out the ship with the longest oversea route departing from the Republic's and booked passage. I had intended to perform a handful of experiments regarding the nature of souls that could only be done safely at sea.
And what kind of experiments can only be performed on a boat?
The sensitive kind. My experiments were successful, and the ship eventually reached its destination. The rest is inconsequential.
Oh, I see. And what exactly do you study?
Many things. Currently, an unusual variety of Adra. It seems to exist only here, among the isles and waters of the Deadfire.
She lifts a small vial of shimmering bluish Adra, peering into it with her carmine eyes.
There's a strange, almost melancholy beauty to the substance. I believe there is more to it than others know.
Well, we have come across a couple of uses for it. First of all, in some alcohol, and second of all, in some lovely soothing bathwater. Your access isn't Valian. Can't help but you seem to be dressed like one. Just wondered what the story was.
Just a bit of culture I've picked up along the way.
Her clothing is spotless and well tailored in the old Valian style, replete with lace, silk, velvet, and brocade. I think Fedoran is maybe a little bit impressed.
I admire their tailoring tradition immensely. It's much grander than clothing one finds in the white that wends.
As she straightens a cuff of her jerkin, a small look of satisfaction flits across her face. Also, Fedoran raises a smile. Oh, it's fantastic. Marvellous, in fact. And who exactly is your tailor?
I am, of course.
You? Animancer and a seamstress?
A curious mind is an agile mind. Besides, the two practices are more alike than one might think.
I suppose they do both require careful hands and an obsessive attention to detail.
Care and patience, yes. It is gratifying to be understood.
It's a pity we can't ask her to craft us a nice pair of Valian clothes. Damn emblastation. Maybe on the side we'll just pop back off camera and say, can you just craft us something nice to wear? Attack. Right, well, we shall be taking our leave. Pleasure speaking with you, and, well, nice clothes.
I will not lie and say it was a pleasure to meet you, but I wish you safe travels all the same.
How
Goodbye.
Oh, well, goodbye. Oh, very fantastic. How very rude. Compliment her clothing and treats me like that. Perhaps I won't be coming back to ask her to craft me something. From her unkempt hair to her agitated pacing, Flown Ellette gives off an air of restrained chaos. She waves you over with a few quick motions.
You don't mind if I talk and work, do you? What can I do for you?
I have some questions.
Sure thing, amico. Comes with the job, doesn't it?
Yes, where I've come from, animancy wasn't very popular. How are things here? Do the Huana give you trouble?
Oh, things are much different here. The Huana may not have the same passion for the field as the Republics, but we understand we're doing research, not sacrificing children to wolves or whatever it is the Deerwood believes. So, no riots. Fortunately, news out of the Deerwood doesn't mean much to this lot.
Yes, it does seem like a rather strange place to conduct experiments. Top of a building.
It took us a few months to adapt. A few bad shocks too before we finished proofing the machinery against rain. I like to think it lends it all a little drama, no? Besides, how better to honor Helia than with invention?
Yeah, I see.
For now, nay? No trouble if you think of anything else, amico.
No, I don't. What exactly are you working on at the moment?
Glad you asked, amico. Very glad. We're very excited about the work here, and we are always looking for volunteers. We've catalogued a number of interesting properties unique to luminous Adra, but there are some very specific qualities we are investigating. Qualities that a watcher happens to be uniquely suited to exploring. You're just what we're missing.
Well, is that so? Is it dangerous?
No. Well, yes, what isn't? But not exceptionally dangerous. Luminous Adra has special effects upon Keith. Even to the humblest, it offers some small improvements. Rejuvenation, vitality, the kind of thing you sell to people back home, nay? But what about those who have already harnessed their own essence? Consider the talented cutpurse, for instance, who can cross a room by slipping briefly into another place. The world between. Luminous Adra holds enormous quantities of essence, the kind of energy we can't replicate or restore. And these formations have a kind of connection to each other across the in-between. I believe we can harness this connection and your natural abilities to transport a person across great distances in a moment.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, this does sound a little bit risky. But, so you can say maybe just travel across the city in the blink of an eye? Is that what you're saying?
That is the very least of it, amico. We've only managed short jumps thus far. I'm hoping that your own gifts will make the difference. We've collected a number of illuminating readings, and our machines are ready to harness the Adra's essence. But for the moment, we are effectively blind when it comes to targeting the next pillar. Now, if someone were capable of sensing that essence in the in-between, even of manipulating it, someone like a watcher, for instance.
Well, if we do make quite a discovery, it would be famous across the land. And if we had a direct hand in that discovery, well, it would in turn increase our level of fame. What would I have to do?
Ah, well, this is a little like describing a muscle I don't have. The idea is for you to focus on the next connection point. The machine will use that new link between the Adra veins to create a tether, as well as provide the energy for you to jump effectively. What's really exciting is, so long as you are holding that connection open, your companions can jump alongside you.
Oh.
And there's no risk I'll show up missing limbs or nothing?
The next pillar's due east of here, in the middle of a farm. It's not as tall as this one, but you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Oh, and don't worry. We paid the farmers.
Well, there's no time like the present. Let's not dither. Let's do this now.
Gelardi. Very well. You stand there. Ansel, the machine.
Oh hell. Oh god.
All right, Watcher. Remember, focus on the beam of light.
Okay, focus is my middle name.
It ought to be like stepping through a door. And remember, don't...
Don't what, sorry? Oh! Oh, this is not a farm.
This is not the Coral and Bone Hall of Ngati. I do not belong here.
Oh, I think something's happened here. Oh, wait a second. Is this Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that could have been a mistake. This could well be J for Journal. It says the Beast of... Is it part of the Beast of Winter DLC? Oh, hell. Oh, hellfire. Right, where are we? Where are we? Okay, so we've appeared somewhere in the beyond. Doesn't look like it's too high a level quest. Otherwise, if we were trapped in a quest that's too high level for us in an area, that could be a problem. Okay. If you don't mind, okay, just take a look around. Under the cover of the shadows, if you
Next time, a
pull back. This looks a highly dangerous situation. That I seem to have gotten us in. A vortex.
I've seen more inviting whirlpools in my day.
Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We may need to attack this. This could be a Scourging Blight. Go! Uh-oh. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. No need to panic, no need to panic. It's just a Scourging Blight, it's fine.
Never you mind that miss. I'll land the next one.
This weapon's no good to me.
So it's... Oh, it's okay, just keep attacking.
Hey.
No,
I got it.
well, perhaps it's best we stick together then, after all.
You up there, run!
What's going on?
We have to go. Can't.
Oh, what's happening?
No.
Oh!
Please.
Ooh, they've turned into like those ashen statues.
Help.
Who is this? We're coming! Stay there! Oh! That looked like a... Well, I say painful death. It was probably painless. It happened very quickly, but it was certainly a gruesome one.
Hey.
We need to get out of here quickly.
Would you? Get that.
Ooh, would you look at that? Indeed, look at that little hidden item, some spirit residue. Hardly going to make us feel better about ourselves and our current lot in life, but it's better than nothing.
Leave it to me. We're not.
Soul Collector and a couple of Scourge Blights. Oh, this is bad. Thank you, Fedoran. This is another fine mess you've gotten us into.